Winter is here, and it's not playing around. If you're unprepared, the harsh cold can knock you down faster than you think. Imagine your heater breaking in a blizzard or being stranded on a snowy road with nothing but regret to keep you warm. Sounds awful, right? Well, here's the thing. You don't have to face winter like a fool. There are 8 absolute game-changer items that could mean the difference between staying safe and miserable chaos this season. This isn't just about staying cozy, it's about survival. We're talking must-haves that handle winter's worst. Whether it's power outages, car breakdowns, or just the brutal temperatures trying to wreck your day, you might think you know what's on this list, but I promise, there's at least one item people never consider, and skipping it could be your biggest mistake. Stick around till the end because that last one might literally save your life. Exercise. Seriously, don't miss it. Welcome to the channel that keeps you ahead of the game. If you want to stay smart, prepared, and ready to handle anything, hit that subscribe button and smash the notification bell. Winter's not waiting for you, so buckle up because we're about to break down the 8 items to survive this winter you'll regret not having. 1. Alright, if you think you can handle winter without thermal base layers, you're kidding yourself. You might as well invite the cold right into your bones. These aren't just nice-to-haves. Thermal base layers are your actual shield between staying toasty and turning into a human popsicle. If you're someone who values comfort and your sanity, during the colder months, they're non-negotiable. Here's the deal. When temperatures drop, it's not just your skin that feels it. The cold seeps down, right to your core, and that's where the real trouble starts. These base layers, they're your first line of defense. They trap heat and manage sweat like it's their full-time job. No fluff, no nonsense. Without them, you're going to be cold, damp, and miserable. Why are they so crucial? 2 reasons. First, your body's not great at holding on to heat in freezing weather. It loses it faster than it can generate. A decent base layer traps the warmth your body naturally produces, creating a snug little microclimate right around your skin. Second, sweat is your undercover enemy in winter. Whether you're shoveling, hiking, or just running around, you're going to sweat. And that sweat? It cools down fast, leaving you cold, clammy, and super uncomfortable. Good thermal layers wick that sweat away so you stay dry and warm no matter what you're up to. But not all thermal layers are created equal. Don't just grab any cheap pack from the aisle and expect a miracle. Here's what you actually need to look for. First up, material. If you've got the cash, go for merino wool. It's lightweight, insanely warm, and naturally breathable. Oh, and it doesn't smell like death after one wear. For a more budget-friendly option, go with a quality polyester or nylon blend. They dry fast, they're durable, and they'll still keep you warm. Next, fit. Don't be that person wearing something baggy and calling it a thermal. It defeats the purpose. Base layers are supposed to fit snug, not cutting off circulation tight, but close enough that cold air doesn't sneak in. Plus, they should stretch so you can actually move without feeling like you're in a straitjacket. Then there's weight. This is where people mess up. Lightweight options are great for mild winters or when you're doing a lot of activity. Midweight is your all-purpose, everyday choice. For extreme cold or low-activity situations, like sitting around a campfire, go for heavyweight. Don't try to tough it out in the wrong layer. You'll regret it. Here's what most people don't think about. Thermal base layers can save you money. Yep, wearing them indoors means you can crank down the thermostat and still feel warm. Another bonus? They protect your skin. By keeping you dry, they lower the risk of irritation and, in extreme cases, frostbite. Tell me that's not worth it. Cheap thermals will only leave you sweaty, cold, and annoyed. Pay for quality, and you'll immediately feel the difference. Trust me, thermal base layers aren't just an extra layer of clothing. They're your cold weather survival gear. If you don't have them in your winter lineup, you'll regret it. Get them, wear them, stay warm. End of story. 2. All right, let's get real about winter survival. You think you've got it all figured out, layering coats and scarves? Guess again. Your hands are the first thing to betray you when the temperature drops. Because the moment your fingers go numb, everything else falls apart. Can't zip your jacket, can't unlock your door, can't even text for help. Sound familiar? That's where portable hand warmers step in. And honestly, if you don't already own a pair, you are setting yourself up for misery. Picture this. It's freezing outside, the wind's cutting through your gloves, and your fingers feel like icicles ready to snap off. Not just uncomfortable, dangerous. Cold hands aren't just an annoyance, they're a biohazard. You're at a higher risk of frostbite, and if you ignore that numbness, it could escalate faster than you think. Portable hand warmers don't just keep your hands toasty, they keep blood circulating properly and help maintain your overall body warmth. You know what that means? You're not shivering in the corner like some underprepared fool. Want options? You've got two main types of hand warmers. Figure out which one's your winter lifesaver. First up, rechargeable electric hand warmers. These things are slick, they're reusable, compact, and come with adjustable temperature settings. Some even double as a power bank for your phone. That's right, you get heat and extra juice for your dead battery. Convenience, anyone? These are your premium option for when you want to feel like you actually have your life together. Then there's the disposable hand warmers. Simple, lightweight, and stupidly easy to use. Just give them a shake or squeeze and they heat up instantly. They're perfect for emergencies or shoving into your bag when you're on the move. No charging, no hassle, just instant warmth. They burn out after a while, sure, but in a pinch, they're priceless. Now, before you brush these off as fancy extras, think about this. It's a nasty day. You're stuck waiting for the bus. Or your car's refusing to start in a snowstorm. You reach into your coat pocket and pull out a rechargeable hand warmer. Boom! Instantly, you're on another plane of winter survival. Ignore the haters shivering around you. This is your moment of smug, cozy victory. And here's a trick nobody's talking about. Portable hand warmers aren't just for hands. Tuck them in your boots if your toes are freezing. Slip them into your jacket pockets for added core heat. Heck, toss one into your sleeping bag if you're camping in the dead of winter. These little devices? Absolute lifesavers. Oh, and here's a geeky tidbit for you. The tech behind hand warmers is inspired by chemical reactions used by astronauts. Yeah, actual space-age science keeping your fingers warm. Can't argue with that level of genius. Now, your move. Are you going to settle for stuffing your hands into your pockets and praying for warmth? Or are you upgrading to portable hand warmers and actually enjoying winter for once? Drop a comment below. Tell me which type you'd pick or how you use yours. All right, hands are covered. Next up, we're talking about surviving those icy roads. All right, spoiler alert, you don't want to miss this one. 3. All right, listen up. You might think you're invincible just because you're careful. I probably won't need this, you tell yourself. Stop kidding around. Winter isn't just cold. It's unpredictable and unforgiving. And when it comes to injuries, it's not a matter of if, it's when. That's why a first aid kit should be at the top of your winter survival list. Skip it, and you're just setting yourself up for unnecessary pain and regret. Picture this. You're outside, shoveling snow like a responsible adult, when you hit the inevitable icy patch. Boom! Down you go. Maybe it's just a scrape or a bruise, so you brush it off, right? Bad move. That minor injury isn't going to heal as quickly in the cold. On top of that, winter can invite infection like it's throwing a party. Any cut, even one from dry, cracked skin, can escalate into a real problem if you're not prepared. And don't get me started on outdoor activities. Say you're on a winter hike, enjoying the snow-covered trails. Sounds great until frostbite decides to make an appearance. Spoiler alert, it's not just something that happens in survival movies. It's real, and it doesn't care how prepared you thought you were. That's where a solid first aid kit comes in, because frostbite doesn't wait for you to Google a solution. Now, a winter-ready first aid kit isn't just your standard box of Band-Aids. You need the essentials, sure. Bandages, antiseptic wipes, tweezers, pain relievers. But why stop there? Go the extra mile. Pack a thermal blanket. If someone's in shock or freezing, it could literally save their life. Hydrocortisone cream? Perfect for dealing with itching or dry, irritated skin that winter loves to hand out. Also toss in cold packs and heat packs. One reduces swelling, the other warms up frostbitten areas. They're tiny, cheap, and could make a huge difference. Here's one people never think about. Lip balm, of all things. Cracked lips aren't just annoying. Leave them untreated in freezing temps and they'll bleed and sting like crazy. Not exactly what you want when you're already dealing with the rest of winter's nonsense. And if you really want to be the MVP of preparation, add a small emergency guidebook. If you're panicking during a serious situation, that little booklet could be your lifesaver. And get this, minor injuries in extreme cold can actually freeze. Yeah, freeze. Imagine trying to clean a frozen wound. Fun times, right? That's why sterilized supplies like gauze and alcohol swabs are non-negotiable. They're small, lightweight, and could save you a trip to the ER. Because trust me, the last place you want to be during flu season is waiting around in a crowded hospital. If you want to get through it. Oh, and here's an eye-opener for you. Research shows frostbite injuries happen more often during mild snowstorms. Why? People underestimate the conditions and don't take precautions. Don't be that person. Bottom line, a first aid kit is your winter bodyguard. It's compact, portable, and might just be the thing standing between you and a full-blown disaster. Make sure it's stocked, and make sure it's ready. All right, now that your safety is locked down, let's move on to the next item. A gadget that'll keep you powered up no matter what winter hurls your way. 4. All right, picture this. It's freezing outside. The snow is coming down like a scene from a disaster movie, and bam, your entire neighborhood just lost power. Suddenly, you're in pitch-black darkness. What's your first move? Fumbling around to find your phone's flashlight only to realize the battery is almost dead? Yeah, good luck with that. This is why having a reliable light source isn't just smart, it's absolutely essential. And no, I'm not talking about some cheap flashlight from the back of your junk drawer. You need something that actually works when you need it most. Battery-powered lanterns? Total lifesavers. These can light up an entire room so you're not tripping over furniture in the dark. Prefer something that'll never quit on you? Grab a hand-cranked flashlight. No batteries? No problem. Just crank it and you're good to go. Bonus points if yours comes with a built-in radio or USB charging port. Yep, some models are basically mini survival hubs in your hands. And here's a reality check. Power outages in winter aren't just inconvenient, they're dangerous. Imagine trying to cook dinner, find supplies, or even move safely through your own house in total darkness. You think feeling around in the dark is no big deal? One misstep, one accidental tumble, and now you're adding injury to an already chaotic situation. It's not just annoying, it's reckless. And because I know you're all about efficiency, listen to this. LED lanterns are game changers. They're 85% more energy efficient than traditional bulbs. That's right, 85%. This means they last longer, burn less power, and can literally keep you going while others are stuck in the dark, wasting dead batteries. Plus, they're lightweight and perfect for emergencies. Toss one in your car, stash another in your emergency kit. You'll be thanking yourself when the time comes. Not convinced yet? Fine, here's a history lesson. Back in 1998, a massive ice storm hit parts of the US and Canada, knocking out power for weeks. People who had reliable light sources? Yeah, they navigated the mayhem way better than those running blind. Cooking, eating, keeping sane in the dark? Impossible without light. Do you really want to gamble with chaos like that? Now back to the 9 million deaths. Oh, and here's a pro tip for the eco-warriors. Consider a solar-powered lantern. These things charge during the day, even in overcast weather. Then, when the sun goes down, they've stored up enough juice to keep you going all night. It's basically like turning daylight hours into a safety deposit for your survival. No power, no problem. Bottom line, winter's not just about layering up and staying warm. Answer 2, it's about preparedness, and a reliable light source isn't a nice-to-have, it's a must. When the power cuts out, you don't want to be the person sitting in the dark wondering why they didn't prepare. Do yourself a favor. Get a solid light source, and be ready for whatever winter throws at you. 5. All right, let's get straight to it. If you think your old, worn-out coat is going to cut it this winter, think again. A high-quality winter coat isn't just some fashion statement. It's your armor against the season that's out to freeze you alive. Think you're fine because you've got layers? Hate to break it to you, but without the right outer layer, all that heat you're trapping underneath is going to escape faster than you can say frozen solid. Here's the brutal truth. Most of your body heat gets sucked away through bad insulation. That puffy, cheap coat you've been holding onto for years, it's probably doing a better job making you look like a marshmallow than actually keeping you warm. It's time to step up your game and invest in a coat that won't leave you out in the cold, literally. Let's break it down. Your winter coat needs to check 3 critical boxes: insulation, material, and design. First things first, insulation. You've got 2 main choices here, down or synthetic. Down is super lightweight and insanely warm, but if you're anywhere near wet conditions, it's useless. Wet down equals 0 insulation. That's where synthetic insulation saves the day. It stays warm even if it gets damp, making it the MVP for unpredictable weather. Next, the materials. If you're dealing with snow, sleet, or freezing rain, ignore anything that isn't waterproof. Gore-Tex? Yes, please. Lesser coats that aren't waterproof will just absorb moisture and turn you into a walking icicle. Look for solid windproofing too, because there's nothing worse than a cold gust slicing through your so-called winter jacket. And adjustable hoods, snug cuffs, and high collars, non-negotiable. These features seal off every possible entry point for cold air. Now here's something nobody talks about: cold compression. Ever notice how some coats feel warm at first but turn useless when you're moving around or sitting down for a while? That's cold compression in action. Basically, the material gets squished, loses its fluff, and can't trap heat anymore. If you're shoveling snow, commuting on a packed train, or just doing anything that isn't standing perfectly still, this feature will ruin your day. That's why you need a coat that's not just warm but lightweight and durable too. Listen, a high-quality winter coat isn't just about errands and commutes. Think about that day your car breaks down in the middle of a snowstorm and you've got to figure out how to stay warm while help arrives. Or when the power cuts out at home and it's colder inside than outside. That coat becomes your lifesaver. You're not just buying warmth, you're buying peace of mind. Be honest with yourself. Does your current coat really check all these boxes? If it's not waterproof, windproof, and warm without crushing your mobility, it's time to ditch it and upgrade. Trust me, future you will thank present you when the temperature drops and the snow keeps piling up. 6. All right, it's time to talk about the unsung heroes of winter, the VIPs that carry you wherever you go. Yes, I'm talking about your feet. These hard-working warriors face more abuse during winter than you realize. Freezing temperatures, icy puddles, hidden snowbanks lying in wait to completely soak your socks. It's a battlefield out there, and honestly, regular shoes are just not up for the fight. Have you ever had to suffer through frozen, numb toes after only a short walk? It's not just annoying, it's miserable. This is where insulated and waterproof footwear comes in. And yes, that pun was 100% intended. Here's the deal. Those sneakers or fashion boots you love might look nice, but they're straight up useless when the ground is icy and the snow starts melting into slush. You're going to need boots that do two critical things: keep your feet warm and keep them dry. Miss one of these details, and honestly, you're doomed. Wet feet in winter are more than just uncomfortable. They can get downright dangerous. Once moisture sneaks inside your shoes, it's game over. Wet socks, cold toes, and hypothermia, anyone? Oh, and don't forget frostbite. It's not just something you hear about in survival stories. It's real, and your toes are the first targets when temperatures plummet. But before you start picturing the bulky, heavy boots from your grandparents' era, I've got great news. That's ancient history. Modern winter boots are game changers. Brands have stepped up their tech game, combining advanced insulation with lightweight materials to deliver serious heat without making you feel like you're hauling bricks around. Take Thinsulate or Primoft insulation, for instance. These materials trap heat like pros, without turning your boots into giant, clunky monsters. That means you stay warm and agile. In case you need to outrun an icy patch or two. Now, onto waterproofing. This is non-negotiable. Look for boots with Gore-Tex linings or something similar. These are lifesavers, plain and simple. They block water from getting in while letting your feet breathe, so you're not dealing with a gross, swampy mess inside. Warm, dry, and breathable. Sounds like the winter trifecta, don't you think? And don't forget the soles. People often overlook this part, but a boot's sole is just as critical as its insulation. You need deep treads and slip-resistant soles to survive icy pavements, without turning your commute into a slapstick routine. Some boots even come with built-in retractable spikes. Yes, actual spikes, for when you need maximum grip. Imagine walking across an ice rink like you own it. That's the kind of confidence you'll get. Investing in insulated and waterproof boots isn't about luxury, it's about survival. But to agree with him, you need to shock through a sterile refrigeration. Winter is brutal, and a single slip on ice could mean weeks in a cast, or worse. Protecting yourself starts from the ground up, so treat your feet like royalty. Do they deserve 5-star treatment? You bet they do. 7. All right, here's a nightmare scenario for you. You're driving home after a long day, the snow's coming down in buckets, and visibility is trash. Suddenly, your car stalls. You try your phone, no signal. There's no one around, and the temperature is dropping fast. What now? This isn't one of those "it'll never happen to me" moments. This is real life. And it happens more often than you think. This is exactly why you need a fully stocked emergency car kit in your vehicle at all times. Think about it. Your car kit is like the ultimate winter survival toolbox, not just for major disasters, but also for those annoying little hiccups winter loves throwing your way. Dead battery when you're running late? Icy windshield that refuses to budge? Flat tire in the middle of a snowstorm? All of these are manageable if you're prepared. Without a kit, you're one icy inconvenience away from complete chaos. First off, let's cover the basics. You absolutely need a heavy-duty ice scraper and snow brush. Newsflash, your credit card isn't cutting it when your windshield is frozen solid. Skip that frustration and get yourself a proper tool that gets the job done in seconds, not minutes. Next, pack a warm blanket or a thermal emergency blanket. If you end up stranded, this little item is going to trap your body heat and keep you from becoming a human icicle while you wait for help. Flashlights are non-negotiable. But don't just grab the junk flashlight from your junk drawer. Opt for a good hand-cranked flashlight or a battery-powered one. And don't forget extra batteries. Trust me, trying to light your way with your phone flashlight when it's on 2% battery? Not ideal. Speaking of which, you'll want to throw a car phone charger or portable power bank in there too. Imagine being stuck and realizing your phone is about to die. Don't play yourself like that. And don't stop there. Pack up some high-energy snacks like granola bars, bottles of water, and of course a first aid kit. You might think that's overkill, but when you're stuck on the side of the road waiting for hours in freezing temps, you'll be glad you did. Got a little extra space? Add jumper cables. And for the ultimate winter hack, toss in a bag of kitty litter or sand. If your tires are spinning on ice, this stuff gives you instant traction to get moving again. Want to go next level? Consider some gear for extreme cases. A survival whistle with a built-in compass might sound excessive, but if you're stuck in the middle of nowhere without any landmarks, that tiny tool becomes a lifesaver. And don't underestimate the power of a foldable shovel. Whether you need to dig your tires out of snow or clear a path, this little gadget could mean the difference between being stuck for hours or getting back on your way. Here's the thing. Emergencies don't send you a heads up. They happen when you least expect them. The last thing you want is to sit in your freezing car, teeth chattering, kicking yourself for not taking 15 minutes to assemble an emergency kit. It's not just about being cautious, it's about being smart. Skip the regret. Put together your emergency car kit today because trust me, the consequences of not having one are far worse. 8. All right, picture this. The snow is coming down so hard you can't see past your driveway. The power's out, your heater stopped working, and when you check your kitchen, it hits you, there's no food. Grocery stores, closed. Delivery, forget it. And your stomach decides to pick this exact moment to growl. What now? You don't have to imagine this disaster if you prepare ahead of time. Enter your winter MVPs. Non-perishable food and water. Winter emergencies don't send you a text to warn you they're coming. A sudden storm, power outage, or even blocked roads can leave you stranded for days. Here's where most people mess up. They stock up on the wrong food. Freezer full of meals? Useless the minute the power goes out. All your canned food requires a can opener? Hope you enjoy the thrill of opening them caveman style. Do yourself a favor, stock the right non-perishable foods, and pack them smart. First up, go for high-energy, long-lasting options. Canned soups, beans, vegetables, and even meats will keep you full and energized. And for the love of all things winter survival, make sure some of those cans have pull tabs. Trust me, when the lights are out and you're digging through drawers for a can opener you swore was in here somewhere, you'll wish you'd thought of this. Next, grab ready-to-eat snacks like granola bars, peanut butter, crackers, and dried fruits. These are perfect because they're shelf-stable, nutrient-packed, and require zero prep. No stove? No problem. And here's a little secret weapon to add to your stash. Instant coffee or tea packets. Picture this, a steaming hot drink during a freezing cold power outage. It's not just comforting, it's downright morale boosting. Now, onto water. People always underestimate how much they need. Here's the golden rule. It's 1 gallon per person per day for at least 3 days. And don't just stack a couple of bottles and call it good. Winter lowers the stakes. Pipes can freeze, access can get cut off, and before you know it, you're deep diving into your snowbank to melt some ice. Fun? Not really. Here's the pro move. Add a portable water purifier or water purification tablets to your kit. Tiny, lightweight, and crucial. If your water supply becomes compromised or just runs out, these can save your life. And hey, no lugging around giant jugs of water. They fit right into your emergency kit. Great, right? Now here's some food for thought. Pun fully intended. How long can a human survive without food? Up to 3 weeks. But without water? Just 3 days. Sobering, isn't it? Your pantry better be stocked accordingly. Take a hard look at your current food and water stash. Can it handle a real winter emergency? If not, it's time to fix that. A closet full of warm coats won't help you if you're starving or dehydrated. Haha, bottom line. When it comes to winter prep, your pantry is your first line of defense.